Alright, so this is the first section, or first topic discussing dynamic blocks. And we're going to use our callout for our sample of this. This outer triangle in the callout typically will be able to be rotated, but we want to leave the text and the horizontal line internally to stay in this horizontal layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my block, I'm going to right click, I'm going to go edit block, block editor. So this will take us into our block editor screen, which you should notice by a gray, or in some cases it'll be a sort of tan background. First thing in the block we need to do is make sure that this horizontal line is broken at the circle, since it's going to be rotated inside the circle, but will stay straight inside the circle but rotate outside the circle. So I just pull that back using the grips. The next thing I need to look at is you should have this block authoring palette. So in this block authoring palette, what I'm going to be doing is rotating. So the first thing I need to create is a rotation parameter. So in the parameters tab of this palette, I'm going to click on rotation. It's asking me for a base point. Base point of the rotation is going to be on the center. Radius. This is basically just for reference. This isn't going to control what you can or can't do, but I typically pull this outside the block. It just makes it a little bit easier visually to deal with once we actually get this control in there. So I'm going to click here. Default rotation angle, I'm going to just leave this as 0, so I'm going to hit enter. So you'll notice I get what is going to become a control point right here that will allow me to rotate this. Whatever objects I select. So now that I have my parameter in, now I need to apply an action to that. So I've got rotate parameter, come to actions, and I'm going to perform a rotate action. So I highlight that. It asks you which parameter. So I'm going to click on the parameter that I just created. It asks which objects I want to rotate, and I'm going to select all the pieces that I want to rotate, which is everything outside of the center, so not selecting this horizontal line or the two attributes. So I've selected those, I hit enter, and now I have a rotation action applied to this block. So at this point I can close the block editor. When it asks to save the changes, I'm going to say yes, save the changes. You'll now notice when I highlight the block, I get this little control point, which allows me to click and rotate the outer portion without modifying the inner portion. Subsequently, with the attributes, I can double click, set my attribute values, so now I have detail. Typically these will be horizontal and vertical, so if you turn on ortho and use this, you can snap it to those associations. So that's it for a quick overview of rotation within dynamic blocks.